two friends, Johnson and Martin. Johnson was incredibly wealthy, the son of a powerful businessman, raised in comfort, surrounded by privilege. Martin, on the other hand, was poor. His parents had died when he was just a child, and he had grown up alone, fighting through life with nothing but resilience and a sincere heart. They studied in the same school, sat on the same bench, and dreamed of the future together. But their realities were worlds apart. Johnson had everything money could buy. Martin had nothing except loyalty. One day, something happened that defined their friendship forever. Johnson had lost his school fee gambling. If the fee wasn't paid on time, he would be expelled. Without hesitation, Martin borrowed money from someone and paid Johnson's fee. He didn't think about how he would repay the debt. He only thought, "My friend is in trouble." Time passed. School ended. Life pulled them in different directions. Johnson took over his father's company and soon became a successful businessman. Martin continued struggling. Some days he found work, some days he didn't. Some days he ate, some days he went to bed hungry. But one thing never changed: his loyalty. Then one day, a woman entered Johnson's life, Julia. She was beautiful, confident, and sharp-minded. Johnson fell deeply in love with her. But Julia didn't like Martin. She looked down on his poverty, judged his appearance, and believed someone like Johnson shouldn't associate with someone like him. Slowly, subtly, she began poisoning Johnson's mind. You live in a different world. Not everyone deserves a place in your life. People will laugh at you. And slowly, Johnson began to change. He distanced himself from Martin. So much so that when his engagement was announced, Martin wasn't even invited. Martin heard the news from others. His heart broke, but he said nothing. He simply whispered, "Stay happy, my friend." After marriage, Julia made another demand. "I can't live with your parents." Blinded by love, Johnson agreed. He sent his own parents to an old age home and moved on with his life. He became so consumed in his world that he never even went to visit them. When Martin found out, he was shaken. Without wasting a moment, he went and brought Johnson's parents into his own home. Martin's wife was educated and compassionate, and since Martin had lost his own parents early in life, he understood their value deeply. Together, they cared for them, like their own. One day, it was Johnson's anniversary. Martin thought, maybe today, everything will be okay. He took Johnson's parents to his house, but at the door, Julia stopped them. With a cold voice, she said, "Johnson has VIP guests inside. He won't be happy to see you." And she turned them away. Those words cut deeper than anything. Days later, Johnson's father met him at his office. "Son, this woman doesn't love you. She loves your money." But Johnson refused to listen. Instead, he lashed out. "Stay out of my life." Martin tried to reason with him too. While your parents are alive, value them. Otherwise, all you'll be left with is regret. That night, Johnson decided to test Julia's loyalty, but fate had other plans. That same night, Johnson collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital. The reports came in. He had cancer. Everything changed. Treatment began. Money started draining rapidly. The company suffered. Employees couldn't be paid. The house had to be sold. Then the car. Then the business itself. Everything was slipping away. But Julia didn't leave. She stayed. She worked during the day, visited the hospital every night, lived on advanced salaries, and moved into a small rented apartment. Life became brutally hard until one day, Julia stood in front of Martin with folded hands. "Please, save Johnson." She mortgaged her home, took a loan just to keep him alive. Martin and Johnson's parents were left speechless. The woman they had judged was sacrificing the most. Time passed, and slowly, Johnson began to recover. Life gave him a second chance. From nothing, he started again. Julia stood beside him every step of the way. They rebuilt everything, piece by piece. The company rose again. They even rented back their old house. Now, Johnson wanted Martin and his parents to live with them. But Julia refused. Johnson was confused. "You gave up everything for me. Then why can't you accept my parents?" For years, she stayed silent, until one day, the truth finally came out. With tears in her eyes, Julia said, "Your father betrayed my mother." Johnson froze. He promised her marriage, gave her dreams, and then abandoned her. Her voice trembled. "The man my mother married after that never gave her a single moment of peace. She lived her entire life in pain, in loneliness, in silence. I watched her cry every night. She broke, slowly, until one day she was gone." The room fell silent. "I never hated you, and I never tried to take revenge. But I cannot live with the people who destroyed my mother's life. This isn't anger. It's a wound." Johnson's eyes filled with tears. For the first time, he understood. He had failed as a son and as a friend. He went straight to Martin and embraced him tightly. "I'm sorry. I lost you." Martin smiled gently. True friendship never fades. Then Johnson went to his parents, fell at their feet, and begged for forgiveness. Life had taught them all a lesson. Value loyalty, respect your parents, and never judge someone until you understand their pain.